Hi, I have a read here that I think is really cool and interesting for us, and also good news. So I wanted in general to read on Trump, like how's he doing? But then there was a question that a viewer had asked a few reads ago that sort of stuck with me. I couldn't find the question, but I remember it as something, well, like, I think it was on my bar read, and I was saying that so when I read on bar, compared to like months before another, I had read on bar maybe 6 months or 4 months earlier. And like, there's the same dark energy around him. But I was like, I feel like it's almost less powerful. Okay. And like, in terms of, is the dark weakening, is the light, like if things take a long time to catch up on the physical plane, like, so it might still look like Trump's super in power, but the light quotient of the earth or whatever is actually, we just haven't caught up to how things are gonna go in a really positive direction, and we're just still like stuck in this slow motion way that the physical moves in. Basically, we're talking in very, you could think of it as spiritual or Star Wars terms of light and dark. And there are a lot of different theories on the light quotient of the earth is really like is growing. And maybe that is also why the dark is fighting so hard to stay relevant and, top dog or whatever. Different different ways. Like, you could even look at this illness. Everybody like has made people into solitude. There's less of these distractions, so they might be actually able to take in more light, in prayer or meditation. Also, the light of consciousness, people who are starting to be able to pay attention more and just going, oh my gosh, there really is something wrong here. That light of consciousness, even if it's scary to sort of wake up to things, it's still a light. And then, people talk about the earth shifts, the weather. Oh yeah, and like less pollution during this time is the earth itself. I mean, earth and nature being able to hold more light. So if that makes sense to people, which I think my viewers seem to sort of see things that way anyway, in a lot of ways. So the question basically being like checking in on Trump, and also, is he growing weaker as the light quotient in the earth? Is the light like growing stronger, even if we haven't seen it played out yet? Is the light stronger, and is the dark, which I don't think I have to explain. I think everybody gets the sort of like the dark force would be whatever. How the hell? I think of it as like a negative miracle that Trump won and that he's managed to stay in power as long as he has. So whatever that dark force that's creating these negative miracles, is it weakening, and is the light growing? And so basically, how is Trump doing? And is he growing weaker? And is the light growing stronger? And I really was like trying to think, I don't know how the cards will answer this exactly for me. How do you show weak and strong? But anyway, I got the most perfect first card. Came out, the upside down Ace of Cups. That tells me, yeah, I mean, like, no card could give me a better illustration of, yes, losing strength and weakening was with this upside down. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. He is growing weaker. And then covered by this High Priestess. There are a lot of spiritual cards in here. It's interesting because it's such a spiritual question also. The High Priestess is, I see this as like the mystery of why he's even still there. And it's like, I felt it like this scroll, like it's written in the scrolls or something, as to why he needs to still be there for a while longer, for whatever reasons that we can't understand. I do see at the surface, there are talks and meetings. I think there's even this article in the New York Times today, that I don't really know how they know this, but that basically the Republican Party is starting to think that Trump might not be worth it. Yes, this is confirmed here. Talks, because it's like, are they talking about how to get rid of him? Yeah, and I don't see him included in these talks, by the way. At the base, death. Now, I initially thought, oh my God, death, it's over, he's done, right? This is the death toll of the from the virus and how it reflects on him. These people do not know. They don't think that Trump can survive this. How do you spin this? It's too awful. It's too massive. It's too huge. You might think, oh, we won't just test very much or something and then nobody will really know, but it's all going to catch up. It's going to catch up. It's bad. It doesn't get much worse for a president to have this massive death toll growing when he put things off for so long, when he handled everything terribly, when, he's now stories of him, the federal government sort of swooping in and taking supplies from states so that the states have to buy it. It's just, there's so much just death and terribleness. Page of Swords, I think this is referring to the last time he spoke. Unless he spoke today, but yesterday, the things, and it's funny because I remember seeing this in another read. I thought he was going to win people over getting up there every day, but it has been a disaster. It was a tower card saying he's up there every day and it's going to really be bad for him, and it has. And I think this is his last thing about maybe we, consume, I'm going to get the wording wrong, but let's drink bleach and or I don't know, bleach, but just sounding so childish. First of all, that page also being very childish and just ridiculous. Can we drink cleanser or get it inside of us somehow, and somehow get the sun inside of us, that sort of thing. Just crazy. The lights. That was really bad. And I feel like even, oh yeah, and I see this down here, is I think that this, even though this is a strength card, I looked into it and it's more like we have to, if you look at this woman, she's closing the lion's mouth. It's like we need to get him off that stage. I think that they are going to stop putting him up there every day. They know that's better for the party. They're thinking of the party. And this, by the way, I do see as the upcoming election. That's on their mind. Because not only could they lose the presidency, but each of these people, these Republicans are going to, they're attached to all this death. They're going to go down with him. They're not going to win their elections. And it's going to just be so blue. So yeah, I see them as saying, we got to get him off the stage. We got to get him to stop talking. Here are the burdens that he's carrying. These two cards, just burdens upon burdens. So, is he weakening? Yes. They want to try to just, maybe if he stops talking. But still, you've got the burdens, and you've got this is hopes and fear. The fear that it's just going to keep coming at him, that there's going to be more and more bad news because of all of this, and it is going to be more and more bad news. And then at the end, we've got a Knight of Swords. This tells me that it's not over yet, but a Knight of Swords is not that strong. Basically, he's going to start barking, and it's interesting because I saw, he started doing a sort of tweet storm today, and I'm like, okay, this is how they're going to try to get out of it. So this is that tweet storm that I see, and I also see, what's his name, Miller. He's always the Knight of Swords I see for Trump, giving him a new kind of plan. Let's get out there and so I did expand on this, but first, at the bottom, at that point, was the Empress. So this is that light that we're talking about, that we want to come into the world and be stronger than everything. So that was just chills. This is beneath it all. So just is don't worry. And also, who do you think's stronger? The Knight of Swords barking in tweets, or the force of this, the Empress? This is a goddess, for crying out loud. This is a force of nature that is so big, and there's nothing that can there's no You cannot overpower or penetrate into the power of this Empress. That's what I feel. And like the fact that the question was really on that kind of, is that light winning? Is it working? Yes. There she is right there. And then I thought, let's expand on this Knight of Swords. Like, and what I got, I mean, it makes perfect sense here. This, what is Seven of Cups, this illusion delusion. So it's just like, okay, we're going to get out there. We're going to send out tweets because we can't, no, maybe he doesn't talk anymore, but tweets have always worked for him, right? And then I see this as literally like handing him a page of like different, let's pick a conspiracy theory, any conspiracy theory. Which one should we go with? I mean, that's what they're just going to start putting out there because that always gets people confused and riled up. And that's what they want, this get people riled up. And then the next card I got was, and let's see if Russia wants to help. Can Russia help? Let's look. So, you know, the same old routine, okay? The same old routine. There's still going to be, I see it like, if you're looking, like the last kind of like wave of a storm, but not even like a big one. Just kind of like, let's just one more wave, you know? And then it's just going to be like maybe done. I hope. I don't see it as very strong or successful. And then these cards are incredible. So, so I'm like looking to Putin. That's what I saw here, right? And then at the bottom at that point was the devil. I'm like, there he is. Yep. So, one last attempt, one last ride, maybe one last wave. Let's try it. But then I noticed underneath here was a Wheel of Fortune and then the Star card. And I'm like, okay, these three major arcana in a row, I think I'm supposed to pull them all out here and show that Wheel of Fortune. I mean, if that doesn't answer our question, is the light starting to gain and the dark starting to lose? Yes. And this is another force that is just bigger than any of these knights or anything. This is the force of nature. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune can mean fortune's going up or down. His fortune has been so unnaturally strong for so long. We know this, what this is saying, that his power is going down. And it was interesting seeing it right there. The devil's still there, but the Wheel of Fortune is changing. And then to have this like miracle card at the beneath that. I mean, we've got the Star card and we've got the Empress. We do have the High Priestess saying for reasons we can't see, this needs to last a little longer. You know, the death being the death toll, but maybe it also is the end of him. And I'm not necessarily saying, you know, physically or anything, but that power that we're talking about is rising. The death of that is rising. So the Star, I mean, expect positive. We've got positive miracles. I also see this because it's not daytime. It's like we can't see the collection is there though. The collection of our positive thoughts, our positive hopes. This is hopes, positive hopes and dreams. And I just feel that it is collecting. It really is collecting. And it's all going to play out as it needs to. So take that as a super positive, I think, read for us, even though like there's going to be another little wave of an effort, but it's just starting to feel really lame. And they know it too. And they're looking at the election. So there's my read on Trump. Is the light winning behind the scenes in a way that we can't see? Yes, very much. I believe that it is. So keep holding on to that hope, and we'll just keep watching this thing play out. Thanks for being there for me to share these reads with, and let me know if you have any thoughts or comments below. I love to hear them, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.